it is rough. I'm not even being dramatic, guys. What is up, Sara Squad? Welcome back to my channel, Lose Weight Sara, where I'm on a mission to lose 100 pounds my way. Want to give a big thank you before I jump into today's video for all of the generally positive support on my last two videos. I really appreciate that, and I just want you guys to know I was really nervous to tell you all that I had decided and gone through the steps to get the surgery. I was really nervous to tell people. I thought there was going to be a lot of haters, but you know what? It worked out great. Everybody was really positive. Even those of you who didn't necessarily agree that surgery is a great option, we're still really positive and respectful about it. And I think that's the sign of an amazing community, right? When you can disagree but still be respectful and treat each other as human beings. So big thank you to everybody who engaged on my last couple of videos, and I appreciate all opinions. I don't believe that we can all agree with each other all of the time. So a conversation is always welcome. It's name calling and just meanness that I don't vibe with at all. So if you're new here, you should know that I have been trying to lose an excess 100 pounds since about 2020. I started getting really serious about my weight loss journey during the pandemic, like many of us did. And since then, I've lost about 25 pounds on my own. I've kept that off and not regained it. I've gone up and down, but I'm still trying. And now my journey is going to include a new weight loss tool. I am having vertical sleeve gastrectomy, or the gastric sleeve, or VSG, whatever you want to call it, on Friday. Yes, that is right. I am 6 days out from surgery as of today. I'm getting really excited, but also like really kind of like that nervous excited. There's a bunch of things that I'm doing that are like out of my comfort zone. I'm not a big fan of flying, and I'm flying out and then flying back, of course. And just, I think there's general kind of anxiety around any sort of medical procedure. I don't care who you are. I don't think anybody just goes into these things and is like, yeah, everything's gonna be great and peachy, right? There's always that little bit of like anxiousness about a medical procedure or a surgery. So feeling pretty good, and I'm feeling pretty prepared, but gosh, there is so much stuff I have yet to do. I still have to pack my suitcase. I didn't even make my packing list, which I always do before I travel anywhere. And I have to make sure that my kids' schedule is lined out so everybody who's taking care of them during the week really fully understands what the heck is going on. So just a lot of gears turning all at the same time. It's a little bit overwhelming, especially because I am traveling out on Tuesday. My first pre-op appointment is early Wednesday morning, and I'm really excited to just get there and see a little bit of Las Vegas while I'm in Nevada. That's for my friends who called me out for how I pronounced it last time. And get just, you know, a cool view of the area. So that first appointment is going to include blood work. I will actually meet with the surgeon performing the procedure. I will do a cardio stress test, and I believe an EKG as well. And I will be filming as much of that as I can. I don't know if they're gonna let me do it or not. Probably not is my guess, but I'm gonna try to get on video as much as I can so that I can share this experience with you guys as we go. Now, as most of you probably know, I've been on a pre-op super strict liver reduction diet since August the 3rd, I believe, is when I officially started that. And it's going really well. So I did a video last week. I will link it up here. If you haven't seen it yet, go back and check it out. It was the like what I eat in a typical day on this pre-op diet. I did get a lot of questions about some of the other meals that I've had throughout the time that I've been on this diet. And I wanted to show you some of those. I'm just gonna kind of list them off, but if you guys have questions about any of these meals, they're really super basic, easy, repeatable, just super, super, super simple. So questions, leave me a comment. I'm happy to answer any that you might have. So just to refresh, the purpose of this diet is a liver reduction diet. The liver kind of lines up along the top of the stomach, and the surgeon is going to have to move that. A fattier liver is more tender and could lead to an injury. So they put you on this very super strict diet for at least 2 weeks, in some situations longer, prior to your surgery date. So I've been on it now just, I believe, about 10 days. I think 10 or 11 days at this point, and I feel really good. I have no complaints other than that I have a little bit of constipation, and I don't know if it's because I'm just not eating a whole lot, if it's because it's a high protein diet. I'm not really sure. So I'm actually going to put a call in to them tomorrow to see what I can do to kind of help with that. So I'll find that out. So the pre-op liver reducing diet that I have been prescribed includes 2 protein shakes and 1 lean meal. The goal is to be low calorie, low fat, low carb, high protein. So I am having those 2 just protein shakes, one for lunch, and then one I kind of have as like more of like an afternoon snack. I tend to get hungry at night, so I move mine a little bit forward. And then my meals are anywhere from 4 to 5 ounces of protein with about 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables. So I can't have things like carrots and peas and potatoes, obviously. So some of the meals that I have made while on this pre-op diet, I have made a lot of air fryer chicken breast. That is kind of my go-to because I can make it in a really big batch. I season it with just like a seasonal kind of salt. Sometimes I'll make it more like Italian seasoning, just generally including things like salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Just really general seasonings because it's easy to repeat and it can kind of go with everything. So when I make a big batch or meal prep, I can kind of just throw those in where needed. I also had some tilapia, which I also made in the air fryer. I paired that with some veggies. I had leftovers of that tilapia, so I actually found these keto buns that are really low carb and moderately high protein. I think they were 5 or 6 grams of protein per bun. They were pretty good. I found those just in the regular bread section in the supermarket, which was pretty exciting. So I made, it was kind of supposed to be like my knockoff low carb filet of fish sandwich. It didn't actually end up tasting like that at all, but it was pretty good. Another meal that I had, and this was a repeater, was taco salad. You guys know I love my taco salad. Lots of veggies in there. It's got olives, peppers, of course lettuce, and then with using 96% lean ground beef, about 4 ounces of that beef in there, just generally taco seasoned. I didn't use the packet seasonings. I made my own with, I think, cumin, paprika, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. And probably my favorite meal that I've made on this whole plan was this shrimp and chicken stir fry. This was kind of like one of those mishmash nights where I didn't know what I wanted and what I had planned to make. I just really didn't feel like it. So I actually watered down like a sesame stir fry dressing that I had. If I would have had the whole serving, it would have been too high in carbohydrates. So I cut the serving in half and then just kind of used some beef broth to like thin that out a little bit. And then I just let it cook down in the stir fry so it became like that kind of sticky texture. It was really, really good. And I had a huge bowl of it and it was delicious and just super low calorie. So the last thing, and I just had this last night, were beef tips over green beans. I made this very similarly to like how you would make a beef stew, just without the stew vegetables in it. So there were no, obviously, carrots or potatoes. It was just the stewed beef, and it was really, really delicious. Had it over green beans. I really enjoyed it. Now keep in mind that I definitely repeated a lot of these, especially the chicken, just because it was simple, and if I had leftovers from the night before, that was easy to repeat for the next dinner. So pretty comprehensive list of the meals that I've been eating for dinners. Again, if you have any questions about these meals, I'm more than happy to answer them. My kind of mentality going into this was not to make it overly complicated, keep it simple. It's a pretty simple prescription, just 4 to 5 ounces lean protein and 2 cups of leafy green vegetables or non-starchy vegetables. Seemed like a no-brainer, but you know, we can kind of get into our own heads sometimes with these things, and that was not what I wanted to do to myself. I wanted to just really keep it straightforward and easy. So very easy meals, very easy to repeat, and very easy to have leftovers for the next day or so. All right, so let's get to this week's weigh-in. Now, I almost was going to say that I didn't want to weigh in because I am eating very little food right now. It is very low calorie. As I mentioned, I'm staying around 1,000 calories. That's the prescription. I would not recommend this to somebody just trying to lose weight. I think it is not a long-term sustainable thing unless you are having 2/3 of your stomach cut out, which is what I am doing. So this is going to be the long haul eating for me, but for right now, as a person with a regular sized stomach, it is rough. I'm not even being dramatic, guys. There are times where, you know, like one of my family members was having like a big sandwich on bread, and I was just like, can I sniff your food? Like, it was really, really tricky, but that's okay. That's just helping me build my mental toughness. So anyway, keep that in mind as I'm sharing this weigh-in. I'm on a medically supervised diet. It's really low calorie, and there's a reason why I lost as much as I did, and it's because I'm not eating a whole lot. So just please keep that in mind, and just know that I'm not recommending this for anybody who hasn't been prescribed it, because there's no way in hell you could keep this up and sustain it very long. So my last weigh-in for the cameras, I did share a weigh-in when I announced my VSG surgery, and that was on August the 3rd when I started my pre-op diet. I was 253.6 pounds. This morning, I weighed in at 244 pounds on the nose, which is a loss of 9.6 pounds over the last 11 days. So pretty dramatic weight loss. I actually took some pictures today that I want to share with you guys too. I wanted to have good before pictures of, you know, the week before my surgery. So these will be the pictures that I use moving forward in my videos after I have my surgery on Friday. So you'll be seeing those from now on. But the comparison pictures I have here are actually from May 1st, and my weight was very similar to what it was when I started the pre-op diet. I've been kind of hovering around that 250 to 255 number for quite some time. So in the pictures on the left, I am 254-ish pounds, and on the pictures on the right, I am 244 pounds. So there's a pretty noticeable difference in these, given that it's only 10 pounds, but I think it really speaks to the fact that I have been physically active. I have been following this pre-op diet to the letter, but again, I wanted to have these pictures for before my surgery. I have some videos that I took too that I'll be using here and there throughout my VSG journey. So yeah, it might be a little bit until you hear from me again. I don't really know how I will do in recovery. It should be a pretty interesting journey. Like I said, I'm gonna film as much as I can. If you guys have any questions about VSG, or maybe if you've had the procedure yourself and you've got some like recovery tips that you'd like to share, I would love to hear them in the comments below. So please, 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 leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys. I love connecting. Any questions that you have, I am more than happy to answer. So be sure to do that. And if this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, I hope that you've already decided to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot, and I appreciate you for tuning in and following along on this weight loss journey. I really want to support you too, so be sure to introduce yourself in the comments below. With all that being said, until next time, I'll see you real soon.